Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I've just agreed to buy a very cheap Audi A4 for just £1,000. I know a few things about it. It's a late 2007, it's done around 120,000 miles, it's automatic and it's diesel. And I just know when I first started doing this job, these were very good news. This was like the facelift, I think it was the B7 model, so it had the big grille. The early ones, pre-2004, had two grills. Why are we beeping? But yeah, the big grille facelift models were always great news. Now, of course, the 2007 car is 18 years old, so they are getting on a bit. So I thought this could make for quite an interesting video. I'm hoping I can spin this one around fairly quickly and fairly painlessly for a small profit. That's what I'm hoping, that's the plan. It doesn't always go to plan though. I haven't actually seen this car yet though. It's been parked on my car park by a colleague. Apart from the year and the price, I don't know much else about it. Should be fun, shouldn't it? Right, let's go and have a look. I'll see you there. Well, we're here. You know the most shocking part of all this? The Wonder Grip van's not here. It's really ruined the whole sort of feng shui of this car park. Anyway, the Audi in question does look all right. It needs a good clean. It's got the larger wheels. They look good. Quite a good looking car that still, isn't it? What do you think? It's on an F plate, so that is Fens. What else can I tell you? It is in dire need of a very good clean. No xenon lights. It's originally from Crew Audi. Or, you know, the last supplying dealer was Crew Audi, so that's all right. Original dealer plates. It's just very flat looking, but I think with a very good clean, we could get that looking quite presentable again. Nothing negative to report. This is new territory, isn't it? No Wonder Grip van, and a car that I bought that doesn't need paint. Who'd have thought it? Whatever next. Right, anyway, as always, we're going to do a quick vehicle history check using Car Vertical. Now, it's really important that you do one of these checks before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike. It just tells you a bit more about the car. Or indeed, motorbike. So this will tell you if it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. In addition to that, if it's ever been involved in an accident, sometimes there are photographs of the bump. Sometimes it shows photographs from the last time it was for sale, so you can compare the condition. It also shows you the ownership changes, MOT history, average market value, all that sort of stuff. So it's a really useful tool. All you need to do is go to carvertical.com. Let me just... Sometimes this has an auto hold feature and other times it doesn't. Oh, we're in park, it's fine. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the reg or the VIN. In this case it is Foxtrot Victor 57, Foxtrot Delta, check vehicle. Now this isn't just a UK thing. What this does, it checks database in 35 different countries. It is very thorough, this, because most of these checks only check one country, whereas this checks 35. So, for example, if it's had a smash in Serbia or a bump in Belgium, then this will tell us. Right, and the report's ready. It's quick as that. 35 countries checked, view reports. So it's never had a mileage rollback, that's good. No outstanding finance, no recorded accident damage, but we've got an amber warning here for ownership, so 5 owners found. I mean, it's an 18-year-old car, that doesn't concern me too much, to be honest. The last no mileage was 120. And it's fairly consistent every single year, so it's done like 8,000 miles a year. It's not too high, is it really, for a car of that age? The average market price for such a vehicle is £2,540. Well, that's the highest price actually. The average is 2,362. Now I've paid £1,000 for it. If I could spin this around on a very tight budget, I hate to say that because I always get it wrong, but if I could maybe spend £400? Should we give ourselves a £400 budget and try and stick to it this time? Then it'll owe me £1,400. If we could then sell it for maybe £2,495, bit of profit there, isn't there? It is a 140 brake horsepower, 2-litre diesel, front-wheel drive automatic, right-hand drive. Then we've got the spec here as well. Very good. 1 recall found, and yeah, 5 owners. Isn't the end of the world, that, is it? I did a video years ago saying that the ownership thing isn't necessarily a red flag. Right, well, that's all good. So, let's go and have a look around it, don't we? Somewhere in here, I've got the key for it. Somewhere. Let me just take this work call. Okay then, right, I'm armed with my one key, which needs a little bit of a helping hand. Let's go and have a look then, shall we? Well, like I say, it does look all right from afar. It's filthy. It is filthy, but all the paintwork looks quite original. All down this side, anyway. Little scuff there on the back bumper, but that's not the end of the world on a car of this age. Tyres, then. Let's have a look. This is a Sunwide a sun wide. That genuinely is a new one on me. It's on about 3mm of tread. Discs look a bit grim, don't they? This would, I think, polish up really nicely. No sunroof, but there's no damage to the roof either. No dents, so that's all good. Have we got another sun wide on the front? This one is a... Why can't I see the brand? An Arrow Speed. Someone's been to Quick Fit, haven't they? Or Halfords, I think that's their own brand. That's on about 3mm as well. Considering these are quite big wheels, there's a little bit of curb damage, but they're not too bad. Again, brake discs look a bit grim there, don't they? They're probably going to be advised on the MOT. We've got front fogs. It's an S-line. Headlamps aren't too cloudy, that's all good. Bonnet hasn't been painted, it's not too chippy either. Panel gaps are good. This is pretty good so far. Have we got another Arrow Speed? We do, another Arrow Speed. Arrow Speed's up front. Sun wides on the back. We've got it all, haven't we? Oh no, sorry. Spoke too soon, didn't I? We've got 3 Arrow Speeds and a sun wide. Oh well, can't have it all. It is very dirty. Bit of corrosion here, typical Volkswagen Audi. All the way along. Moving around the back then. Not a bad looking car though, are they really? Quite chunky. Twin exhausts, or twin exhaust pipe. Does my remote locking then work on my Juan key? No. No is the answer. It might just need a new CR2032, whatever it is. Right, well the inside is just as disgusting as the outside. Still, good news about the 2 Bic pens I found. That's all right. Stinks of dogs. It just smells dirty, really. Oh, there we go, lovely. We've got an alarm beeping. It's a delayed reaction, wasn't it? Is it going to go off or not? There we go. Service overdue, lovely. Oh, it's got sat-nav. I tell you what, you know, this had been some car in its day, wouldn't it? 18 years ago. Right, we've got original mats, that's good. Cloth interior. Needs a very good clean. Moving around the back. The back's filthy as well. It would clean up this, you know. I guarantee by the time I've taken this to same side detailing for a full clean, you won't recognise it. Central locking situation is doing my head in. There we go, right. Back's filthy too. What have we got here? More pens. Honestly. More pens here than WH Smith. And then a load of... I don't even know what they are. If there's a rattle on the back end, we know it's probably that rather than suspension. Magic tree there. Risking an awful lot from that little magic tree, really. Well, it looks like an 18-year-old car, doesn't it? That hasn't really been loved. It will clean though, so I'm not overly concerned. Someone's been to McDonald's there several times. They always break. That centre armrest breaks, and the fabric's gone shiny through all the dirt and grime. There's no service book or book pack of any description, which is disappointing. Because these have a cam belt, and I wonder if it's been changed. It must have had one, mustn't it, in its life? But I'd be very surprised if it's had 2. Bonnet catch a bit stiff there. Needs some lubrication. Put some grease on that, I think, while it's down at my mechanics. Okay then, right. What I was hoping to see here was a sticker to say the cam belt had been replaced. But no such luck. It's missing a cover there. Should have a cover like that across the top. But it's not there. Let's fire this up then, shall we? This 2-litre diesel used to be quite a reliable engine, but everything has a shelf life, doesn't it? Service due, so it's done 123,000 miles. Radio set to Radio X. Turn my little heater down because it's blasting me with cold air. Locking wheel nuts there, so that's good. Don't know what that is. Cigarette lighter. It's a very grubby car, this. Let's just get my glow plug warmed up again. I mean, it's a diesel, isn't it? They always sound like a bag of nails, but it's actually all right, I think. Someone's had some sort of phone holder here and then covered it up. They haven't done the neatest of jobs, to be honest, but it is what it is, I suppose. We've got a CD changer here. Have they left us any gems? I'm too impatient for old technology. How do you change disc? I don't know. It's not touchscreen, is it? That's for sure. Right. Sat nav. This is like the least intuitive system I've ever come across. Well, my sat nav works. Look at that. Very good, very impressive. Why have we only got one station? Pop out cup holder, look at that. Oh yes. Seems to be a theme here really, but every car that I've bought recently has been very doggy. This one included. Look at all the dog hairs everywhere. I think really we need to go and drive this, don't we, and see. Move my little parking pass there. Drop that back off at the garage. We need to drive this, don't we, and see how it performs. We're very low on fuel. I mean, it sounds like a taxi, doesn't it? But then it's an old diesel. Let's get it on the road then, see what it's like. Okay, slight problem there, look. Ah, there we go. Just needed a little bit of brute force. We're smoking a little bit there. Yeah, that's not great, is it? Looks like the door from Stars in Their Eyes. Right then. First time driving the old Audi A4. We are smoking a bit. It might just be because it's well overdue a service. So if we change all the fluids and filters, it might be a little bit better. And of course it's very low on fuel, so it might be pulling through all the dregs from the fuel tank. See, I'm trying to be optimistic here. And it's 2 degrees. So some of that might just be because it's so cold. Maybe. Drives alright though. Pulls alright. Gearbox is quite smooth. I think this old gearbox, I could be wrong now, but I'm pretty sure it's like a CVT. It's Audi's version of a CVT. They weren't the most reliable, to be honest, but when they're working, they are quite smooth. Do my windows work? 1, 2, 3. Oh, nearly lost you then. 4. Right, we've got working windows. Working heater, which is much needed today. Look at this. It's not what you want to see, is it? An AA breakdown card. This is actually all right, this car, you know. Pity there's no history with it. I'd like to see if it's ever had a cam belt, really. For £1,000, it is an awful lot of car, isn't it? Oh dear. Didn't see that. We've got a very mouldy seatbelt here. Don't really want to ruin my jumper. Where should we go first then? I think we might as well just drop this off at my mechanics, hadn't we? Take it straight down there, let them cast their eye over it. I think what I'll do is get a general sort of check over and inspection done first before I spend any money on it. If it checks out okay, then I'll leave it for a full engine service and an MOT. I think we'll do that. I think it's going to get pulled on the brake disc, to be honest. Certainly, I don't know. Certainly they'll be advised on the MOT. If they do need replacing, then my £400 budget is right out the window. Still, I think with a little bit of effort, this could be a £2.5 car. Maybe even a £3 car. It's auto and it's all right. So I think we'll do that. Then we'll go get some diesel first. Diesel, then my mechanics. And then I'll catch up with you in a bit. But yeah, so far, so good. I'm quite pleased with my little £1,000 purchase. Sat down very low here. I'm pretty certain breathing in this mould isn't great for my health, to be honest, but... Right then guys, give me a couple of days and hopefully I'll have an update for you. Hopefully it doesn't take me as long as the Audi A6 that I filmed with recently, which I started in November 23 and finished in January 25. I don't think this one will be as big a project. This one seems all right. Famous last words there. Oh yeah, my heater's getting nice and warm. Nice and toasty. Right then, auf Wiedersehen, as they say in Germany. And we're back in my cheap Audi A4, and I'm afraid I don't have good news for you. In fact, there is one good piece of news, I suppose. I figured out why the previous owner kept an AA card with him at all times. After we last spoke, I took this straight to the car wash because it was pretty minging, and it did clean up quite nicely. So I spent £15 on a mini valet, just to make it look a bit more presentable, really. I know you always think I'm a bit mad for doing that, but by the time I drive it down to my mechanics, I think if I turn up there in a nice clean looking car, it always looks a bit better. I left it there with my mechanic for a full engine service, so all the fluids, all the filters, and a clean MOT. A couple of days later, my mechanic called me and said, right, this Audi, Matt, how much do you want to spend on it? Straight away, I just know that isn't good news, really. Basically, my mechanic told me I'm going to have to spend £1,442 on this car, plus VAT, to get it to the sort of standard that I would be happy at to sell. And it's just not worth doing, ultimately. I thought this car was maybe a £2.5 car, maybe £2,995 when it's all done. By the time I'd spent £1,442 plus VAT on it, there'd be no profit. So it's just not worth doing. They priced up the cost of the full engine service. It needs 2 tyres, it needs front brake discs and pads, it needs rear brake discs and pads, and the final nail in this Audi's coffin was it needs 1 new injector. That's quite an expensive part. It also needs the wiring to that injector because that's faulty. That's why when you start it, there's a slight sort of, it goes away when it's warm, but there's a slight sort of slight misfire. That's another reason why I don't really like diesels. They're just way too complicated. You know, usually when you get a misfire with a petrol, it's a spark plug or a set of spark plugs or a coil pack, that's it. Maybe 50 quid, 100 quid, job done. With a diesel, you're talking 500 quid. That's why I don't like them. So I've decided the most sensible thing to do, really, let me get this out because it's irritating me, is to just sell it cheap. Sell it as it is. I can hear a siren, but I can't see it. I'm going to sell it cheap as it is. So I was thinking if I put this on the website at maybe £995, it's nice and cheap. I've lost a few £100, yes, granted. But that way it's cheap enough, hopefully, for some sort of, I don't know, like a home mechanic, somebody that tinkers with cars, maybe they could fiddle around with it and get it sorted for a fraction of the cost. If I could do that sort of thing myself, if I had the time and the space and the ramp and all that stuff, then I could probably do that, but I don't, so I can't. Under load there is a slight judder, actually. Could be that dodgy injector. So that's really where we're up to. I suppose I bought a bit of a lemon, didn't I? It's always a gamble doing this job. It is like a game of Russian roulette. You win some, you lose some. I wish I had better news for you, really, because I was hoping that there'd be £700, £800 profit in this for me. There sadly is not. I was just looking around it then to see if there's any parts in it that I could whip out for something else, like my S4 or you know, S5 or something. Like the mats, for example. Could do with a set of genuine mats. You know what, this might not be all bad. It might be something that I could pinch. Well, that's a bit disappointing, really, isn't it? I always like to end these videos on a high and tell you, yes, I might have massively overspent and spent £3,000 on it, but look at the transformation. And with this, it just isn't worth the effort. Especially when it's done 123,000 miles and the service history never materialised. Not a great start, is it? Cup holder works though, so it's not all bad. Right, well on that note then, thank you once again for watching. I hope that the next video is a bit more profitable. Can only hope, can't we? Keep my fingers crossed. Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, last week I got a message from a viewer called Adam asking if I fancied taking on a project. I don't know whatever gave him that idea, do you? I mean, what do I look like? Some sort of gullible idiot? He explained that he had a 2003 Audi S4 Avant that he'd owned for a couple of years, and it was a bit of a project car. And, like everyone's project cars, he just didn't have the time to get it back on the road. Ultimately, I think he just accepted that he wouldn't be able to see this project through, and that's why he offered it to me. Now, had this been an ordinary Audi A4 Avant, you know, a 2-litre diesel or a 1.8 petrol, I'd have had little to no interest. But this isn't. This is an Audi S4. It's quite a rare car, and they just don't make cars like this anymore. I mean, let's not forget, this uses a 350 horsepower 4.2 litre V8, and it sounds naughty. In addition to that, it's got a manual 6-speed gearbox, and it's got all-wheel drive. He gave me what I thought was a very honest description of it as well. He'd spent lots of money in the right areas, but just ultimately ran out of time. So, for example, he told me it had a new timing chain, new clutch, new battery, 4 new Michelin tyres, all that sort of stuff. So that's obviously a good thing, because there's thousands of pounds worth of work there already done. But it does have a few issues. So, there's no power steering, it's completely dead. There's a fault with the ABS, and the headline is sagging, which is quite a common issue on the S4. We agreed a deal where I agreed to pay him £1,350 for this car, which I know sounds like a bit of a bargain, but it is a bit of a risk. Quite a big risk, actually. And I mean, let's not forget, I've bought this completely unseen, so it is a bit of a gamble. I'm just hoping it's all right. Before I agreed to buy this car, I did a thorough vehicle history check first, and it all checked out fine. Now, as always, I used a company called Car Vertical, and they're really good. They're really thorough. Let me show you what I found then with this Audi S4. So it's really easy to use. This all you do is go to carvertical.com and type in the VIN or the reg number. And as you can see in the case of this Audi S4, it's never been stolen, never had a mileage drawback, there's no outstanding finance on it, and it's never been involved in a recorded accident. So we're clear on all 4 fronts. In addition to that, when we scroll down to the mileage, it's fairly consistent. It's done around 160,000 miles right now, 162 I believe. But yeah, it's fairly consistent every single year. I mean, let's not forget, this is a 21-year-old car now, so I think it's entitled to have done 160,000 miles. If we scroll down a little bit further, we can see the MOT history, the ownership changes, plate changes, all that sort of stuff. Like I say, it is a very thorough check. If you'd like to do one of these checks for yourself, and I urge you to do so before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, you can save yourself 20% if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK, all one word, HIGHPEAK, for 20% off. I'll leave the link below in the video description. But yeah, definitely try it out. And it isn't just a UK thing either, it works in 35 different countries. Right, well, armed with all that information, we better go and have a look at it, hadn't we? I'll see you there. Right, well, here we are then. I think that's called Daytona Grey, but I'm not sure. But it's quite a good colour actually for an S4. I do like the Avant as well. It just looks sporty. Now I know the one on, what was it? Was it Layer Cake? Was that an RS6? Or was that an RS4? I'm not sure. But it's this sort of era. It's just cool, isn't it? I mean, this is sitting quite low, so I think it must have been lowered, or we've got some cracked springs. I'm not sure. But it's just been sitting for ages by the looks of it. I mean, look at I don't know whether you can see this on the camera, but it's just full of mould, basically. This needs a very deep clean. But Adam was right. So we've got a Michelin Pilot Sport 4 on, yeah, loads of tread. There's like 6mm of tread on that. Brake discs look a little bit grim. They might need to be replaced. The wheels need refurbishing, so I'll have to run this over to Prestige in Bredbury. Prestige wheels are doing a good job, I'm sure. Up front, we've got another matching Michelin. Bit of a tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. Another grim brake disc, another wheel that wants refurbing, but that's not bad, is it? I mean, there must be £800 worth of tyres on this car. So that's pretty good. It's just filthy. We've got a window down there as well, which isn't good. Might have a broken regulator, perhaps. It's just sitting very low and looks a bit awkward. We're missing a towing eye cover. Now, this is interesting, actually. When Adam sent me the first email on it, he gave me a very long email, really, and a very thorough description. And he said he'd got various parts for the car, which he was going to leave in the car. So, for example, there's a towing eye cover, I think he said. There's a new S4 badge for it. Various bits and pieces. Now, I've never owned one of these cars before, but I would say that exhaust isn't standard. So it should have twin exhausts like that, but they look a little bit bigger than they should be. So it should sound pretty good, this. We've got rear parking sensors. Now we've only got the one key, the Juan key, which is actually, Adam's tagged it up for me. Can you see that? Is that in focus? Juan key. I thought that was quite funny. We've got new wheel sensors as well, I think Adam told me. So that's good. So once the wheels are refurbished, we can pop those in. Another Michelin tyre down there. And the fourth and final, Michelin. Muy bien. Right, well, the bodywork's actually very tidy. Apart from needing a... Ooh, nearly slipped then. Apart from needing a very good clean and buff, it's pretty good. It's missing its front reg plate for some reason. We've got xenon lights because we've got the headlamp wash there. You know what I like about the S4? It's nice and discreet. It isn't too obnoxious. You know, performance cars these days are just too much, I think. Take like the M3 Competition with those silly sort of silly exhausts on the back and everything, and big aggressive nostrils up front. This is nice and understated and subtle. Right. Remote locking works then. So, like I said, we've only got the one key, but it does all work. That's good. It's got rear privacy, which it looks all right. I kind of wish it didn't have it, to be fair, but I'm now thinking, because this looks as low on the offside as it does the near side, I'm thinking this must have been lowered. We can't have 4 snap springs, can we? That would be a terrible look. But yeah, look at all the dirt. Can't wait to get this all cleaned up. There's no sunroof, that's probably a good thing. The headliner is indeed a bit sort of tentish, isn't it? In here then, we've got this little mounting equipment box. We've got some new wheel caps, as promised. That's good. Glove box bracket, he mentioned that. A bonnet release, I think, is that? I think he said that had broken as well. And passenger front footwell, some sort of trim for that. So that's good, isn't it? It smells a bit, well, it smells how you'd expect, really. It smells a bit mouldy, a bit musty. We've got a Bose surround system. I don't know if that's an option or not. Why have we locked? Up front then, we've got a nice full leather interior. Some of these had half Alcantara, but this has got the full leather Recaro bucket seats. I'm quite excited about this. We've got electric seats, no mat, so perhaps we could treat it to a set. We've got some vice grips here, some mould grips. That's how we get in the bonnet, I think, isn't it? Should we give this a yank, shall we? Maybe not. Yeah, no, we'll leave that, I think. Leave that to my mechanic. We could do with some new window switches because they're all worn and perished. Got a nice armrest. And yeah, the good thing is, it's had a new clutch at some point, and we've got a proper 6-speed manual gearbox. It all looks a bit scruffy, doesn't it? But I think it's come to the right place. We've got loads of history, apparently. Oh yeah, the glove box is indeed broken. Little pop-out cup holder there. Oh, we've got £3.50 in there. Cruise control. Not sure what that is, to be honest. Oh, battery clamp. Sorry, someone else removed for me, and I don't have the correct tool to refit. Fair enough. Fair enough. Nice, honest description. Oh, look. Got a new S4 badge. Perfect. And we've got what looks like loads of service history. So this was collected a couple of days ago from down south. It's come from miles away, this. I'm just flicking through the history now. We've got loads and loads. I can't show you because I might reveal someone's name and address, but I'll just give you a sweet little sneak peek. We've got loads of history there. So that's good. What we like to see, isn't it? In addition to that, do we have a service schedule? Look at that. It's interesting, actually, the cover photo there they've used on the owner's manual is the Nogaro blue, it's called. Nogaro. I know you're impressed by my nerdiness. Don't play it cool. Okay, service history then. Let's have a look, shall we? John Fox, originally. John Fox, Audi, Nottingham. Where the fuck's that? John Fox again. 03, 05. Very good. Swindon Audi, Northfield Audi. I think this has changed hands lots of times. Basingstoke Audi. And again, Basingstoke, Basingstoke, Basingstoke again. My dad used to work down there. There was a air base down the little airport. 104, then done at 111, then done at 117 at Stafford Audi. Then another one there in Cleckheaton at 124, 129, 148. Gearbox fluid and rear diff oils. Man after my own heart. Brake fluid change, that's good. So that might be the last service unless there's some more receipts. So I think we'll give this a full service. We'll do everything. Spark plugs, the whole lot. I think what I'd like to do now, what I'm intrigued about, is how this sounds. You ready for this? Let's fire up, shall we? So we've had a new battery, so it should be fine. There is no power steering though, it's heavy AF. Very heavy. We've also got no washer fluid there. Got little lines there sort of emanating from the end of it. Right. Oh yeah. So it's done 163. We've got no power steering at all, and we've got an ABS fault. Oh, that sounds naughty though, doesn't it? Listen to that. Quite like this. Should we do that one more time? Right, I shouldn't rev a cold engine, should I really? The car thinks it's the 8th of August 2003. It's got a really nice little burble, that. Oh yeah. Moving to the boot then, we've got more rubbish, which can all be cleaned, but we've got a nice parcel shelf and dog guard, and even a load liner, which I always like to see. Shows someone's cared for it, doesn't it? Struts are all right as well. Did that close then? No. Right, we've got a dicky boot. Yeah, it just needs a very good going over really, doesn't it? I think what we should try and do then is just move it forward and backwards. We'll just see how bad these brakes are, shall we? So it's telling me my boot's open. Yeah, no surprise there. Let's try reverse then. Okay. Yeah, clutch feels all right. Steering obviously gets a little bit lighter as it as we pick up a bit of speed. Right, I've got a long to-do list then with this. I imagine the power steering pump's failed, so I need to replace that. I'm not sure the fault with the ABS. I'll get my mechanic to scan it, I think, and see what the issue is. But I'm quite impressed, really. Quite impressed so far. We've got a CD and cassette player there. It needs its code, but I'm sure that's in the history file there. We've got no heated seats, sadly. You'd think with a leather interior we'd have some nice heated seats, but we don't. Half a tank of fuel though, which is nice. Give it one more rev, shall we? Oh yes. Right, well this is gonna keep me busy for a while, isn't it? I suppose. I couldn't see a towing eye cover, but it might be in the car somewhere. Worst case, I can just order one from Audi. But yeah, that's it. That's my new project. What do you think I should do, by the way? You should probably let me know in the comments. I don't know what to do with the suspension. I'd quite like to raise it, get it back to factory settings, really, because I don't like things which have been lowered and tampered with. I think if that's been lowered all round, that will ride horrendously, won't it? I think that's really cool, that. Yeah, very cool. Right, we'll leave this with me then for a few days. I'm going to run this down to my mechanics and get them to fix the power steering and the ABS, give it a general check over, and then give it a full service and a clean MOT. Because I think the MOT expired earlier on this year, so we'll get that done. Then I think I need to take it to Auto Trim over in Denton, see my mate Jim the Trim, and get the headlining replaced. And then over to Tameside Valetrim for a full clean and probably a stage 1 or 2 buff. So it should keep me busy for a while, shouldn't it? But it's all exciting. Right, I'll see you shortly. Well, I'm back down at my mechanics, and as you can see behind me, I've got a rather sad looking Audi S4 Avant. And I wish I had better news for you, but unfortunately I don't. In fact, I could do with your advice. I just don't know what to do with it next. Since you last saw it, it's driven about 50 yards. My mechanic got it up on the ramp just to see what was wrong with it. And as you can see from my stack of papers, there's quite a bit wrong with it, actually. So this is why I need your help. I just don't know how far to go with it. I asked them for a full service, a clean MOT. I wanted to sort out the faulty power steering. They topped up the power steering fluid and it did work, but only for a short period. Then it quickly became apparent where the leak was coming from. It's leaking from the steering rack itself. Now that ordinarily wouldn't be a big job, but on the Audi S4 Avant, unfortunately, it's an engine out job. I can buy a reconditioned steering rack for about 400 quid, so that's not a problem. But it's going to take maybe 2 or 3 days labour to get the engine out, fit the steering rack, and then put the engine back in. So my labour bill alone is going to be probably, I don't know, another £1,500 maybe. Bear in mind I only paid £1,350 for the car. I just don't think it's worthwhile. In addition to that, my mechanic said that it needed, what else? Needed a power steering pump, which is quite expensive, rear shock absorbers, some bulbs, 2 front rear suspension arms, a front mount, fluid, bonnet damper, bonnet handle, and brake discs and pads all round. Now I do have some prices, happily. So for various parts here, we've got brake discs, pair of brake pads, control arms, shock absorber. So that's going to be £408.90 for those bits of parts, plus the reconditioned rack. Hang on, gets better. The service kit is £138, that's fine, can live with that. Then the cost of the power steering pump itself is £329.99, plus the cost of the rack, plus a load of labour. And that's what's really putting me off. I'm just trying to figure out whether it's worthwhile or not. Now, I know it's done 160,000 miles and it's 21 years old or something, but it's had all the other major work done. New timing chain, new clutch, all that sort of stuff. So I just thought, maybe if I spent maybe £2,000 on it, it would be worth doing. If I spent £2,000 on it, it would then owe me, the best part of £3,500. It's probably a £5,000 car. My main concern though is if it doesn't just cost me £2,000 to fix, if it costs me more like 3.5, 4, then it's going to owe me too much money. But thinking sensibly for once, I've already got a really nice Nagaro Blue S4 with low miles. So, can I be bothered? I just don't know what to do with it if I don't fix it. There's something else I've forgotten as well. If we get it running right, then we've got to sort out the cosmetics. Now, the bodywork seems okay, but it's covered in moss, so I'm not really sure. It needs a very deep clean. The wheels need refurbishing. A few other bits and pieces, so I really don't know what to do. My plan originally, and this does kind of change from day to day, was to take both S4s, the Avant and the saloon version, and maybe do like the North Coast 500 or something like that. Maybe. But, I don't know. I could probably just buy something else, couldn't I? Maybe like an S8 or something, maybe, or an S6. Who knows? The other thing to bear in mind is, even when it's finished, it's done 160,000 miles, so I can't really retail it. That would, of course, mean that I'd have to keep it for my own car collection, which is getting a little bit out of hand. I'm already struggling for space, and I've already got way more cars than I could ever drive. In fact, that's a good idea for a video. I should give you an update of everything I've currently got in my weird, eclectic car collection. I mean, just looking around me now, I need to get out of here actually because it's quite depressing. That's my Land Cruiser. We've got an A6, S5, LS430. That's my old Range Rover. That's my Toyota Picnic. That's my Berlingo. That's my NX over my left shoulder. So yeah, I do have far too many cars around me at the moment. So what would you do? I'm really torn. I don't know whether to spend the money and continue with it or just cut my losses. I could probably get £1,000 for it as it is and just sell it on as a project. I don't know. I don't like to be defeated, to be honest. I quite like to rescue all these cars, but I just think with this, bear in mind I'm not doing the work myself, it's just going to rack up a massive labour bill, isn't it? But do let me know what you do in the comments, because I need your advice. So I think that's about it. Wish I had better news for you, but sadly I don't. Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today I bought something quite interesting. What I've agreed to buy is a 2010 Audi A6 Le Mans. Now the Le Mans, excuse the poor French accent by the way, Le Mans. The Le Mans came with different wheels, a different interior. They were quite a good looking car, and back in the day these were very desirable. Sorry, let me just turn off my speed warning system. I've paid just £1,500 for this car, so it does sound very cheap, but I haven't actually seen it yet. It is always worrying. I know a few things about it though. Engine wise, it has the 2.7 litre turbo diesel. I know it's automatic, and I know it's grey. Now I think the grey in this was called Daytona grey, and it's quite a nice colour. I could be wrong, but I've had a few A7s and A8s in Daytona grey, and that is quite a strong colour. I quite like that. Oh, and it's done 164,000 miles, I think. But that's all I know. I bought this from a car trader friend of mine. I think it was a main dealer parts exchange. And he called me up with all the details, and I was expecting him to say it's 2.5 grand, or it's 2,800 quid, or it's 3 grand. I was expecting that kind of figure, because I thought this was a £4,000 to £5,000 car retail. So when he told me the price was only £1,500, I thought, that sounds suspiciously cheap. I just hope it's not too good to be true. You know the old phrase, don't you? When something's too good to be true, it usually is. So shall we go and see it then? It might indeed end up being too good to be true, but I suppose there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Right, I shall see you there. Right, the Audi A6 then has been dropped off to me in this car park. Ah, I can see it. That's a good colour, you know. It has got the nicer wheels. They're a bit rough looking though. Needs a fresh set of number plates. Typical of Audi of this era, the rear lights have gone all kind of hazy. They will buff back though, so I'll have to get that done. It's come from Warrington Audi. Somebody, I think at some point, has replaced that 2.7 TDI badge because it doesn't look quite right. It's got a little bit of paint on the rear door, but it looks all right though, you know. That is so much car for £1,500. I'll tell you that for nothing. Twin exhausts. That's quite nice, isn't it? Right, as always then, let's learn a little bit more about it. Let's do a vehicle history check then using Car Vertical. So this is really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the reg or the VIN. In this case, we know it is Mike Alpha 10, X-Ray, Tango, Zulu, and then check vehicle. And what this does is it checks database in 35 different countries, and it'll tell us if it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It's a really thorough check, that. In addition to that, it tells you the ownership changes, the MOT history, all that sort of stuff. It's certainly the most thorough check I've ever used, and it isn't that expensive, and it's cheaper still if you use my promo code. So if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK, that's HIGHPEAK all one word, you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. Or alternatively, click the link below in the video description. This is just finishing up now, it won't take much longer. Right, and the report's ready. So, view report, it's never been clocked, there's no outstanding finance, there's no recorded accident damage, it's never been stolen, that's good. Right, so let's go down to the mileage then. So, the mileage is fairly consistent. At its last MOT, it done 155,000 miles. Let's see what happened then in 2021. I'm guessing there was a typo of some description. So it's a 2010 6-speed automatic. It was first registered in March 10. Like I say, back in March 2010, that was a seriously desirable car. Granted, that was 14 years ago now, but anyway. Now its last MOT was in November 23, and it failed on various things. Brake disc worn, tyre worn, subframe corroded, all that sort of stuff. Then it passed without a single advisory item, which is great news. It also had a reg plate transfer. Right. Well, that's all good news then, isn't it? Should we park up somewhere? I'm going to give you a quick tour. Right then, let's go and look at this A6. So, first bit of good news, we've got one key, and we've got second key, which is great news. Trying to avoid getting my nice white trainers too dirty. I've just had them in the wash. I mean, considering it's 14 years old and done 160,000 miles, it is very tidy. We've got some little marks down here, some little scratches, but I'm not too concerned about those. The wheels are crying out for a refurb. They're a mess, and they'll look really nice. If I get those powder coated again back to factory fresh at Prestige wheels, they will look really good. The rear brake discs look okay. We've got a Delinte tyre, which they're not a bad sort of middle of the road brand actually, and that's on about 4 mil of tread. So that's all right. This is like a facelifted model this, so you get these LED lights up front. And what else? I think this little bit of chrome trim on the door handles, I think that's part of the facelift, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they were nice cars in the day. Up front then, have we got another Delinte? No we don't, we've got a Haida. A Haida something sport, I think that says. But again, the wheel is very curbed all the way around. That's been abused actually. I'd like to see the state of the curb. Again, the brake discs don't look too bad. And the tyre is on about 4 mil of tread, so that's all right. There's a little bit of front end damage here where the that's had paint. You can just tell the finish is sort of like orange peel. It's not factory fresh, that. And they've struggled to put this back properly, so I'll have to get that refitted properly. It needs a set of plates because they look very scruffy. Not too bad though. I mean, considering its mileage, it's not too chippy, is it? This bumper's kind of dropped because that panel gap there is way, you know, way too far out. That's not quite right, that. Round this side, have we got a matching hider? We do. We do indeed. Well, they're all right. They're not a brand I've ever heard of, I'll be honest, but there's plenty of tread left. And on this side, have we got another Delinte or not? Come on. Where's the brand? No, this isn't looking good actually. We don't have a Delinte. This one is an auto green, and it's got a big chunk out the sidewall. See that? Those wheels are right state. What I might do then is get another Delinte. I mean, there's plenty of tread on this, but I like to have matching. And I can see that rear door's had paint. Again, it's kind of got an orange peel finish to it, and it's just starting to chip here. See that? So that door's definitely been painted. It's not the end of the world, is it? It's £1,500. I'm still, overall, quite impressed with that. Let's have a look inside then. What have we got in the boot? Oh dear, just mess. This is filthy. Again, nothing that a good valet won't sort, but someone's been doing tip runs in this. Or had some animals living in it, I'm not sure. Or both. In the back there we've got a land sail. It's just minging, it just wants a very good clean. Stinks as well. We've got a nice black leather interior. I've just walked straight into a cobweb there. There's bits of food crumbs everywhere and muddy footprints and stuff, but nothing that a good clean can't sort out. This is all alright really. Oh, look at that. Pop out cup holders. First aid kit. I never knew the German word for first aid kit was Verbantasch. Yeah, anyway, learn something new every day, don't you? We've got what looks like some paperwork here. No, instruction manual for a Audi DVD player. Okay. Up front, more of the same really. There's not an awful lot of wear on the driver's seat, that's all right, no rips or anything. It's just filthy. I just don't think this has been cleaned for probably 5 years. Lots of dead skin on the controls, which is always gross, isn't it? But yeah, it's quite a good spec though. I mean, well, it's got heated seats and leather. That's what I mean by that. It's done 164,000 miles. What I will do though is get this gearbox service because they're not great gearboxes, these. I think it's that Multitronic box, I think, which I think is like a CVT. How many warning lights? Local car, because someone's been listening to Tameside. How many warning lights we're going to have on? Service due, with an exclamation mark. Typical Germanic fashion. Ooh, slight timing chain rattle there on startup for a couple of seconds. Either that or a little bit of a top end rattle until the oil gets all the way to the top. Down here then we've got lots of hairs, dog hairs and pet hairs and whatnot. We've got some touch up here. I was hoping that would say the name of the colour just to prove myself right, but I'm pretty sure it's Daytona. Pretty sure it's Daytona. Never been smoked in, or at least I've never used a cigarette lighter. Locking wheel nut, that's all good. So, sat nav then. Go on the map, that all works fine, that's very good. Down here we've got more filth. Now, we've got a CD changer. European maps there. What have they been listening to? Let's have a look, shall we? Radio. We want media. This was always quite confusing to operate. Right, source, hang on, source. CD changer empty, that's a pity. I was hoping to see what they were listening to. Now, an Audi of this era will have an online digital service record, so I'm not expecting a book. But let's have a look anyway, shall we? Yeah, no. So we've got the previous MOT there. We've got... okay, right. Remove offside front headlight to replace xenon bulb and ballast, and then retest. That was 60 quid for a new bulb. An MOT bill here. It's also had a crankshaft pulley and an alternator belt. 800 quid. Oh, it gets worse. Supply and fit, near side, offside and near side, lower rear suspension arms and upper rear suspension arms and front lower suspension arms and front upper suspension arms, plus tracking, plus four-wheel alignment. £1,435. That was in November 22. So I've only paid £65 more for that for the entire car. Bit of a result, isn't it? We've got another receipt here for a service in July, 2 days after my birthday actually. Oh, that was July 22. Carry out a full service. That was in 20. This is the trouble when manufacturers like Audi get rid of a service book. Now you just get loads of papers and handwritten receipts and stuff. Much better with a book that you can just stamp. Anyway, I think then with this car we need to get it on the road. We need to make sure that the gearbox changes. It's got plenty of power and it doesn't go into limp mode. I think that'll be the first thing to do really. So, let's take it out on the road. Before I do that though, let me just check these windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're all good. We've got heated seats. My air conditioning is ice cold. I'm going to have to turn it up actually. Fingers are freezing here. This isn't a bad car, you know, I'm quite... Oh! Bit of hot stepper. In addition to that, we've got heated mirrors. Also lights. Cruise control. This is alright. I quite like it. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. If it was an estate, I could keep it for a dog car. Right, let's get this on the road then. Alright then, let's get this show on the road. See about it's a little bit saggy. Right. We've got front and rear parking sensors, that's good. Steering is nice and light. This era of Audi A6 with a lumpy engine did always drive quite well. They were quite a nice car to be in and use. So we've got reverse, that's good. We've still got no warning lights. It isn't Quattro, so I assume it's just a front-wheel drive model. Don't want to take out any cyclists. Or get T-boned by a cash guy. Oh. Yeah, I will get this gearbox serviced straight away. There's a little bit of hesitation there. Or in fairness, that could have just been me. Let's pull in slightly to the left. This could be quite a nice little project for me actually, because it doesn't need that much work. I'll give the engine a full service, I'll give the gearbox a service, refurbish the wheels, replace a tyre I think. Or do I bother? Do I bother? On a car like this, done 164. I don't need to put matching Michelins on, do I really? What else can I do? Fresh set of number plates, that's what I'll do. Sorry, excuse my, I was just thinking there. Thinking what I'm going to do with this car. It needs a very good detailed valet. Very good clean. Pull's alright though. That's usually the test. That hill is the test for anything. You try and put your foot down in something. Sometimes, if there's an issue of course, you'll get a warning light or a flashing glow plug light, which indicates a faulty, whatever, DPF, injector, injectors, glow plugs, EGR, all sorts of stuff. But that was fine. Yeah, it's nice and smooth this actually. Very smooth. What am I going to do with it then? I could retail it, but it's a bit risky retailing a 165,000 mile car like this. What I might do, just had a brainwave. Do you remember I did a video recently with an Audi A3 Sportback 2008 OY08 UGL, because I'm like Rain Man and I remember Regis. I did a video with that and I decided to keep it as a bit of a company runaround, something to do the tip running and all that sort of stuff. Whenever me and a couple of colleagues have got to go out and pick up a car or go to a main dealer and pick up some cars, we just use that. We've been using it now for a few, well, probably a month or so, and it's been all right. But it's manual, occasionally it goes into limp mode, which isn't great, and the air conditioning doesn't work. So, what I might do is sell that, do a very blunt advert with the A3, sell it as it is, and then stick this on the fleet. Because for £1,500, I mean, bear in mind I might spend another £800 on it. So for 2-3, something like that, I've got quite a respectable looking car to run around in. It isn't going to cost me any more in tax or insurance or anything, because that's all fine. Yeah, I might do that. And then of course that means I've got a nice automatic car to use with heated seats and air conditioning. That's what I'm going to do. Sorry, I quite like it when I have a brainwave like that. That's what I'm going to do. There we go, job done. I do like it when I decide to keep a car, you know. What shall I do first then? I think first things first, I'm going to take this for a quick mini valet, spend £15 and get them to vacuum it for me and have it looking a little bit better. Then run it to my mechanics, full service, MOT I might do. Although it's got one till November. Maybe leave the MOT, but I'll do a full engine service. Then I'll book it in at the gearbox place, get that serviced. Then I shall take it over to Prestige and get the wheels done. And then I'll give you an update. Because the drive of this thing, all right, I've only done 2 miles in it, but it's been all right. Been fine, actually. This could be the perfect thing to just run into the ground over the next 3 years, and then it'll owe me nothing. Not a bad idea, that, is it? And of course, occasionally we have to lend a car to a customer. So we've got 2 or 3 little courtesy cars we use. An Igo Picanto and a Chevrolet Spark, although the Spark's currently off the road with a few issues. But occasionally we sell a car to somebody that can only drive an automatic, so we could just, you know, loan out this. There we go. Right, give me... how long is this going to take? Give me 10 days and I'll have an ending for this video, hopefully. And hopefully it'll be good news. I never like to count my chickens, but I can't see this one costing me a fortune. See you in a bit. And we're back in my very cheap Audi A6 Le Mans. And I've transformed it. It didn't take an awful lot of effort this time. Thinking about it, I think I kind of still have overspent. But it was fairly straightforward. After we last spoke, I took it down to my mechanics for a service and an MOT. It's always at that point, it could go either way. My mechanic could call me and say, Matt, this is a complete lemon, get rid of it. Or, actually, it's all right. And surprisingly, in the case of this high mileage Audi A6, it was the latter. It was all right. For its MOT, it needed some sort of suspension arm replaced, and that was it. I couldn't quite believe it. I'll talk you through exactly what it had and the exact cost in a second. But from there, I picked it up and took it to my automatic gearbox place. I don't really trust these gearboxes, so I had it serviced. That was quite a costly job. It cost me £240, but it's done. Gives me a little bit of peace of mind. A couple of days later, I picked it up from there and I took it over to Prestige Wheels in Bredbury. Now, if you remember, the wheels were in a right state. They were battered.
There's like these queues on the A616 at the Wentworth Business Park roundabout.
I hate traffic announcements, do you? Always startles me. As always, Prestige have done a really good job. So they've been stripped, filled, repaired, and then powder coated, and they look as good as new. They really set this car off nicely. I think a nice set of wheels instantly lifts a car. So at that point, if you can picture this, I'd now got a car that was mechanically sound and it had nice wheels, but it still looked like a pigsty. The interior was particularly, well, it was disgusting. It did resemble a pigsty, I'm not going to lie. So I took it over to Tameside Detailing for a full, thorough valet. I picked it up from there this morning, got it back to the garage, fitted some new reg plates to it because the original Warrington Audi plates were a little bit faded and scruffy looking. And now for £15, I think it's really lifted it. And that, ladies and gents, is pretty much it. I didn't bother getting any paintwork done because, as I hinted at the start, I've decided to keep this car as the new company workhorse. I think it'll be ideal. It drives really well, it still looks the part. It's all right, I'm quite pleased with it. Now, remember, I paid just £1,500 for this car, and I think, I was just kind of totting up the sums then as I was driving along, I think I probably spent around £1,000 on it. And thinking back to the first part of this video, I think I said I'd spend around £1,000. So for £2.5 grand-ish, I've got a well-sorted car. What I'll do now, though, is park up and I'll talk you through the exact costs and see how far away I was. The only downside with this car is it doesn't have Bluetooth audio. That would have been a nice touch, but it's got everything else. I've just been and filled it with fuel and it took 92 quid. So it is quite costly to brim, but there we are. Can't have it always, can you? Right, we're nearly here, so get your abacus ready. Now I paid £1,500 for the car, so £1,500 there. The bill at Prestige, well, let me do it in order so I don't forget. The bill at my mechanics, let me get this up. So it had oil filter, MOT test fee and an offside front suspension arm. That was £85, plus some labour. So my total bill was £322.72. It was £240 to service the gearbox, It was £288 to have the wheels refurbished at Prestige Wheels. That takes my total to £2,350. It was £70 for a full valet, and it was £15 for some reg plates. So, this doesn't happen very often, does it? We're actually under budget. So my grand total for this car is £2,435.72. Now I think if I were to retail this car, I don't know, what's it worth? The paintwork isn't the best in some places, there are a few marks and scratches and stuff, but generally it is quite tidy for a 14-year-old, 164,000 mile car. What would it be worth retail? £3,500? Maybe £3,995? It is an awful lot of car for the money, isn't it? And at 2,435, whatever my total was, I'm quite happy. So if I can sell my Audi A3 for around 1,500, then I've got a much nicer car for only an extra £1,000, which is pretty good going, isn't it? So I think that's about it. Make sure my handbrake's off, and we're away. Yeah, this'll do the job nicely, won't it? What do you think? Let me know below in the comments. Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, a few days ago now, I got an email from a viewer called Steve, who asked me if I'd like to buy his wife's car. It was a 2009, well, a late 2009 59 Audi A3 convertible. He sent me some photographs and it looked quite tidy. It's done 102,000 miles and it's a 1.6 litre petrol S-Line. He said that they'd owned it for a good number of years, the service history was pretty good, so I thought, well, yeah, this is decent stock for me, really. The next thing I did then was do some research, and I couldn't believe how little they were worth. This is the thing, in my head, the Audi A3 convertible is still a modern car. It's hard to believe it's nearly 16 years old. I asked Steve how much he wanted and he said £1,600. I did some research and we eventually agreed £1,500. And that's pretty much it, really. I've always quite liked the Audi A3 convertible. I've had a good number of them over the years and yeah, I always thought they were quite a cute little car. It's been dropped off for me this morning on my car park, so like I say, I haven't actually seen it in person yet. I'm quite excited to see what it's like. I'm hoping I can sell this one for a profit. If I can't profit from a cheap Audi A3 convertible, then there's something seriously wrong. I was just thinking, I've paid £1,500 for it. If I give myself a budget of maybe £500, give it a service, MOT, a good clean, fresh set of reg plates, then it should be worth £3,000, 3,295, something like that. I had a quick look on Auto Trader and they start at around £2,500, but for £2,500 you're going to get a very high mileage one, and maybe not an S-Line. So I think its retail figure is somewhere between 3 and 3.5. I need to check through the history and see if this has had a cam belt done. Now this should have had its cam belt done at, what do you think, 2009? Probably 2018, 2019, something like that. If it hasn't had one done, I'm going to have to do one. That's going to cost me about £400. So I'm just hoping it has. Traffic's bad today. Anyway, all being well, I'm hoping if I can spend £500 on this, not a penny more, I should be able to make about £1,000 profit. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Anyway, we're not too far away now, so I shall see you there. Well, we're here. The Wonder Grip van's here as well. It's a result, isn't it? That looks pretty good, actually. It's quite a nice colour grey. It's got the nicer wheels because it's the S-Line model. The fabric top needs a good wash, actually, so I'll take this to Tameside Detail and let them clean it all up for me. But that looks very tidy, actually. Very tidy indeed. It must have, oh yeah, it did have a private plate on it. Right, so Steve took the private plate off so it can go back on its 59 reg. So I'll order some new plates. That'll improve things. Give it a good valet. Tyres look okay. This all looks pretty good, actually. Quite tidy. It's mad that you can buy a car like that for £1,500, isn't it? 1,500 quid. I'd run around in something like that, to be honest. It's half decent. Right, as always then, we're going to check this out using Car Vertical. Now it's really important that you do one of these checks before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike. So all you need to do is go to carvertical.com. Let me demonstrate. Right, we're on carvertical.com and you type in the reg or the VIN. Now in this case we don't know the reg, so we'll type in the VIN. Now, I can get this from the logbook. I've got a picture of it. Hang on a second, let me copy and paste this. And what this does, it checks databases in dozens of countries. So it'll tell us if it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has a stunning finance on it. There are so many dodgy cars out there, I'd hate for you to end up buying one. So it's really important that you do one of these checks. It doesn't take long, as you can see, and it isn't expensive either. And it's cheaper still if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK, all one word, HIGHPEAK. And you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. And you can use that promo code as many times as you like. It's not just a one-time thing. This will also show us the spec of the car, the MOT history, the ownership changes, all that sort of stuff. Right, so the report's ready. 45 plus countries were checked. So, it's never had a mileage drawback. There's no outstanding finance. There's no recorded accident damage. So we're clear on all four fronts. Or sorry, all three fronts. It's had 3 owners, 3 previous owners. Theft, so it's never been stolen. That's good. We've got a mileage sort of timeline here on a graph. The last recorded mileage in July last year was 101,789. That's all right then. That was its last MOT. No recorded damage. Average market price for such a vehicle. I'll tell you what, I should do this for a living, shouldn't I really? The average market price for such a vehicle is 3108, which is exactly what I said, wasn't it? I think I could get, now I've seen it, providing it drives okay, I think I could get 3.2 for that all day long. Shows you the road tax there. So it's an Audi A3 convertible 1.6, so it's quite insurable. 101 brake horsepower, front wheel drive, grey, right hand drive. We've got the spec here as well. Okay, last owner's had it for 4 years. We're all good then, really. Let's go down to its most recent MOT then and see if there are any advisory items. So it passed its MOT last July with a couple of advisory items, 2 minor and 1 advisory. So rear inner position lamp with multiple light source up to half not functioning. That'll be the LEDs, I imagine. Offside front repeater lens, defective, which has no effect on emitted light mirror. Don't know what that means. And also near side front tyre, worn close to legal limit on edge. Let's have a butcher's, shall we, from a couple of metres. I mean, it doesn't look worn, but we can always put a new tyre on if necessary. So that's pretty good, really. Let's go and have a look in person then, shall we? Park up this S5, which is actually a similar colour grey. Right then, let's go and look at this Audi A3. Quite a nice day to buy a convertible, isn't it? So, there she is. Bodywork looks pretty good. These wheels are quite nice, not badly damaged. We've got a sail wind tyre on the back, on about 4 mil of tread. Brake discs look okay. The backing plate looks a bit grim, but we can sort that out if it's a problem. Looks quite straight down the panels. The panel gaps are good. Can do a little touch in there where someone's opened it onto a wall or something. All looks quite tidy there. That can be clipped back in. We can pop that back in. Might need a new indicator lens there on the mirror. Down here then, I think we need 2 front tyres actually, because a little bit of cracking around the edge there. And they're only on about 3 mil of tread, so I think we'll get a new driver's side tyre, and the passenger side tyre was advised anyway, so I think we'll get those replaced. A little crack there on the front grille. Overall though, it is quite tidy. It's quite a tidy car really. Considering it's done 102,000 miles, the bonnet isn't chippy. Windscreen's not chippy either, that's good. For some reason, Audi A3s always get this mark on the windscreen. It's like the wiper doesn't fit properly or something. Always leaves that sort of that streak. I've only seen it on Audi A3s for some reason. This tyre then has got it's an Aptani. There's a little bit of wear on the edge there, but not too bad. Wheels a little bit curved, but again, for a 16-year-old car, it's not bad at all, really. I think I'll order some touch-up paint for it, the correct colour from Audi, and then do some touch-ins. Yeah, this roof wants a proper clean though. It's full of like mouldy stuff, like it's been parked under a tree. But I think the lads over at Tameside Detailing will do a nice job at that. The other rear tyre is a Landsail on about 4 mil of tread. That's all right then. It's only front wheel drive this, so I'm not too concerned about the odd tyres on the axle. Won't make any difference. So it's a 1.6 petrol. The peculiar thing about these, I've only got the 1 key as well, by the way. Yeah, right. Trying to get into the boot and I was pressing the wrong button. I always thought it was weird that the boot opens upwards because it gives you like a weird angle to load things in. I always thought it would have been better if it dropped down like a Mini Cooper convertible. Slight observation there. See what I mean about the awkward sort of, because it lifts up like that, it's just quite awkward to get things in and out of. Whereas if it dropped down like a Mini or a Range Rover, I just think it'd be better. It's quite clean, really. You can fold the rear seats down as well, so it's a bit more practical. Now I assume the roof works. Should never assume, should I really? But a little bit of wear on the bolster. So it's got a half leather, half cloth interior, S-line seats. Just wants a good old clean, really. It's not bad at all. Got DRLs. What else can I tell you? Got the aluminium trim, that's all right. We've got 21 pence. Gets better and better, this, doesn't it? Let's have a look under the bonnet then, shall we? Right, well that all looks quite clean, doesn't it? Chassis legs are straight, so it's not had a whack. Everything's covered in plastic and stuff, but the oil filter looks, well, it doesn't look ancient. Looks like it's been replaced in the last couple of years. No obvious oil leaks that I can see, but everything's covered in plastic. Yeah, well, looks okay really. I can't see a sticker to say it's had a cam belt done. It's made in Hungary. Okay then. Have we got the same? Yeah, okay, right. Let's check through the history. It's mad this is a £1,500 car, really. So we've got a wallet here from Audi with the brochure in and on the owner's manual and all that stuff. Got a service book, this is what we're looking for. So it's come from Swansea Audi originally. So it was serviced by Audi in Swansea at 10,000 miles, 18,000 miles. Then again at 20,000 miles, then 24, then 41. Toothed belt is what we're looking for, toothed belt. Had another one by a Jaguar specialist in 56. That's decent history then, really. Then there was a bit of a gap. So it was last done in 2016, then it was done again in 2020, so 4 years there in between the services, which isn't great, but at least somebody caught up with it, I suppose. What else? No mention of a toothed belt there. No mention of a toothed belt anywhere. Another one there at 98, then another one at 101. Sturgis Motor Company, C invoice attached. That was done at 101. That was its last MOT then, wasn't it? 30th of July 24. Okay. Oh, right, got that. Ah! That's good news then. This is very good news. So, in 2021, at 95,000 miles, it had a new water pump and timing belt. That's the result. Replacement of water pump and timing belt. Replacement of auxiliary belt with AC. Replacement of antifreeze, £235. That was done at... Does it say the mileage? Yeah, the mileage there. Audi A3 S-Line, 101 brake horsepower, 95,000 miles. That is a result. That's great news. And then we've got the bill here for the parts. New timing belt, new water pump. That's all good. This is great news, actually. Replacement ball joints. We've got a service here, done in 21. That's good news then. Another service here. It's had a battery at some point. This is all great news, actually. That's cheered me up. Let's try the old roof then, shall we? In fact, let's have a look in the glove compartment. We've got 2 pens and a locking wheel nut. It's a 5-speed manual. Got a can of Diet Coke there. Just needs a good old clean, this really. An auxiliary port. This would have been a very desirable car 10 years ago. So, my engine light comes on and then goes Does it go off or not? Clutch feels nice. Got radio 2 on. No CD, that's good. See if my air conditioning works. It's done 102,000 miles, 470. No warning lights on at all. The engine sounds quite sweet. I'm quite pleased with this, you know. Let's try the roof then. So, all we need to do then, I think, is press and hold this little lever. This little button. Well, it's making all the right noise. There we go, look at this. Quite impressed. Oh yes, perfect. And then back up again. There we go. She works. Will my windows go back up or not? I'd have thought my windows should have gone up then, really. Is that right? Have we completed the cycle there or not? Try that again then. So my little lights on the dash there to say my windows, my roof's going down. And then the windows go back up. That's fine. Then the reverse, press and hold this again. The roof's coming back up. That latch is in place. That's not quite latching there, is it? Hang on a second. Right, we've got a slight problem here. Hang on a second. How can I do this whilst holding the camera? This little latch here, this little sort of piece here, this hook, isn't latching properly. I think it needs lubricating or adjusting. Let's try this again, hang on. There we go, right. Right, that needs a minor sort of adjustment then, a little tweak. I think then really guys, we need to get this on the road, don't we? See how it drives. Clutch feels good though, nice and light. Gearbox is good. Okay, let's get it on the road. In fact, you know what? I've just realised the plates aren't on this car. In order to drive it on the road then, we're gonna need my trade plates. Let me nip back to the garage and get my trade plates. I'll see you in a sec. Well, I'm quite impressed with this car so far. I've got a single warning light on. Let's see how it drives. I think then we're into a new indicator, 2 front tyres, a service, an MOT, and a good valet, and a set of reg plates. What's that going to cost me? Tyres will be about £80 each, I suppose. 70 or 80 quid. Plates are 15. Valet 70. I think my £500 budget is looking all right, really. And I think, especially given that we're now in sort of springtime, aren't we? I think this could be a 3295 car. It does look like a bit of a bargain, doesn't it, really? Or in my mind anyway, because like I say, in my mind, this is still a new car. Especially now I know the cam belt's been done. That's great news. Well, it pulls all right. I mean, it's 101 horsepower, so it's not the quickest thing ever, but this would be a good sort of second car for somebody, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? The first car was a Fiesta or a Fiat 500, and the second car could be this. Or am I talking nonsense? It's all right, this. We're in 5th gear. It's not tight to get in gear. There's no crunches. The gearbox is pretty good. Clutch feels good. Brakes are all right. My brakes aren't grinding. My air conditioning works. You know, this is a half decent car, really. I think by the time this hood looks nice and black again, then we're in profit here, guys. Don't want to speak too soon, but I think we are. Just noticed my driver's mirror isn't quite clipped in properly. I need to fiddle around with that, really. Pop the new indicator in and then fiddle with it and get it seated properly. I also need to fix the roof. Just sort of play around with that hook, really, and lubricate it all. And we should be pretty good, I suppose. What should I do first then? I suppose first thing, I need to get this down to my mechanics, don't I? Run it down there, order 2 new tyres and an indicator, and have the service and MOT done. In between all that, I'll call Harrods and order the plates. Then when it's done there, I'll take it to the valeters. And then, yeah, photograph it and advertise it. This could be a nice quick turnaround. I don't even like to say that. What usually happens when I say something foolish like that is we'll cut to like 2026 and it'll be me saying, well, I finally got it sorted. But no, I think we're all right here. I think we're all right. And I've only driven it for 1.5 miles, but there's no smoke out the back, no warning lights on, steering feels fine, clutch, gearbox, brakes, all good. It's also quite solid over the bumps. It's not knocking or rattling or loose. It's all quite tight, really.
First two, with the added bonus of David Faber's arrangements.
My Audi concept radio works fine, as does the air conditioning. The only thing I've noticed that doesn't work, now this brakes on all Audis. Every single Audi from this era that's got this adjustable armrest, the top part of the armrest always breaks. What you end up with is, you ready for this? This. The clips, the plastic clips break at the back. It's all a bit naff, really. There's no way of fixing it, you've got to replace it. I could have a look on eBay and see if I could find a replacement, but in all honesty, I don't think it's that important, really. There we go. Still works as an armrest. You just got to be careful with it. But then it's a 16-year-old car, so I can't go too mad with it. Well, I think, guys, that's about it. I've just noticed a rattle, but I think it's coming from my de-icer tin. Deal. Yeah, leave it with me then. I should have this done in, should we say, a week? Give me 1 week. And I'll have this spun around and looking nice and pretty. Who knows, by the time we speak again, this might even be sold. Stranger things have happened. Right, so wish me luck. I'll see you in a bit. And we're back in my cheap Audi A3 convertible, which is now serviced, MOT'd, and ready for sale. You'll be pleased to hear I haven't massively overspent on this. I say you'll be pleased to hear, you probably couldn't care less, to be fair, but my accountant will be pleased to hear I haven't massively overspent anyway. It turns out, as I thought, it was quite a good car, this. There were no nasty surprises. So after we last spoke, I took it down to our mechanics for a service and an MOT and 2 new tyres. If you remember, the front 2 tyres were quite bald. In fact, they reminded me of that guy that used to present the Crystal Maze. Anyway, they were replaced. It also had a service and an MOT with not a single advisor item. So, happy days, really. In between all this, I got the paperwork back and put the correct reg plates on it. So it's now on its 59 reg, which I think looks a whole lot better, really. I didn't bother replacing the front grille. You might think I'm cutting corners there, but I didn't think it was too bad. I didn't think it was warrant spending the extra money on, to be honest. It looks quite presentable as it is. From the mechanics, the next job was to get it cleaned. Now, the roof was a bit of a state. It needed a very thorough clean and jet wash. So I took it over to the lads at Tameside Detailing, who spent ages cleaning the roof and cleaning the car, and they've done a really good job. It now looks perfectly presentable. In fact, you'd struggle to believe this is a 16-year-old car. It's amazing, isn't it, that, really? Makes me feel very old. Excuse me, by the way, today I'm full of a cold. I feel dreadful. I certainly won't be driving this with the roof down today. Catch pneumonia or something. It's quite a pleasant little car, this, actually, so I'm quite confident it'll sell quite quickly. As soon as it was ready at Tameside Detailing, I got it back to the garage, took some photographs of it, and I've got it advertised. I've written a nice little advert for it, and I've advertised it for $3,295. Now, bear in mind I paid just £1,500 for this car. There should be a decent amount of profit left in it. I haven't spent a fortune on it, but what we're going to do shortly is park up somewhere scenic, and I'll talk you through all my costs. But I'm fairly sure, off the top of my head, I've probably still got about £1,000 profit in this. Maybe 1,200 quid, something like that. So all in all, well, providing I sell it, of course, all in all, a very worthwhile exercise. I'm pretty sure it'll sell quickly, really. I mean, we're coming into spring, and this is a price range convertible. I mean, who wouldn't want it, really, for £3 and a bit grand? Quite a decent car, really. Do you remember how this armrest kept flying off? Well, my mechanics glued it down, so no more rattling. I got a price for a new one, by the way, and it was something like £380, so like, no thank you, I think I'll just try some no more nails. I did a post with this on Instagram, and a few people said, oh, I wish it was the 2 litre, I'd have bought it if it was the 2 litre. But in all honesty, this little 1.6 does a pretty decent job. Even the 2 litre's not particularly quick, so what's the point? Okay then, right. Park up in my usual little lay-by then, which is getting worse by the day. It was always filled with, well, it was always full of potholes and stuff, but now they're proper craters. Right. Let's knock off the engine then. So, get my calculator out. I paid £1,500 for the car. My bill at my mechanics was, hang on a second, let me pull this up. So it's had 2 new tyres, service, MOT. That was £223 and 18 pence. Add that in. The cost of the valet at Tameside detailing was £70. The cost of the number plates were £15. They were from Harrods in Marple. Is that it? I think that's it, you know. So my grand total then, that was a good guess, is £1,808 and 18 pence. So like I say, if I can get £3 for this, then I'll have made just shy of 1,200 quid. Which is pretty good going, isn't it? Quite pleased with that. Try and get out of this lay-by without taking my sump off. My sump off. Yeah, I think that's about it. That's not a bad bad day's work. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe. I can't speak. Make sure you... I need to go and get my bed. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And yeah, cheers guys. See you next time. When hopefully I don't have full-blown man flu. See you in a bit.